Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Rachit Jain and I make videos about student life, tech and photography. In today's video, I will be talking about 10 book recommendations for students. Whether you are in university or a high school student, these books are a must read if you want to grow your personality. So without further ado, let's dive into the video. Number 1 on the list is the book called The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg. This book is a keystone in building and understanding the nature of good habits. It is a deep dive into the things that you need to actually build and maintain good habits. This book talks about habits for successful individuals as well as organizations, giving a comprehensive procedure to forming and maintaining good habits. Habits are a very important part of our lives, especially when you know how to build good and strong habits and break the bad ones that you already possess. Number 2 on the list is the book called 21 Lessons for 21st Century by Yuval Noah Harari. This is one of my favorite books and one of the most influential books I've ever read. The book talks about 21 lessons the 21st century is forgetting and not giving the importance that is required to justify them. The book is divided into 5 big sections, with each section being subdivided into various other topics. These lessons are something that any generation should follow, especially the 21st century. The book talks about education, society, culture, politics, war, and even challenges faced by the current generation due to big data and technological advancements. Moving on, number 3 on the list is the book called Life 3.0 by Max Tegmark. The book talks about various ways humans have developed over the years with the assistance of technology and how in today's world AI is the new vastly emerging technological advancement that is going to soon define and change our future. This book helps us to become more aware about artificial intelligence and the various things that AI is affecting in the fields of war, society, culture and so on. The author wants us to understand the concept of AI and take the necessary steps that are required so that the machines don't overtake humans as a race on the planet. I highly recommend this book if you want to learn more about the consequences of tampering with AI and how this technological development will change and shape our future. Next book on the list is The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. This is one of, if not the most well-known success books out there. This book takes more of an inside-out approach, focusing more on the character ethic instead of the personality ethic. The 7 habits discussed in the book are: number 1, be proactive. Number 2, begin with the end in mind. Number 3, put first things first. Number 4, think win-win. Number 5, seek first to understand, then to be understood. Because for you to understand someone, you have to first listen to them and understand what they are saying. Number 6 is synergy, which means that different people bring different ideas on the table and you should not disregard their ideas just because you think your one is right. And number 7, sharpen the saw. This book is a must read for anyone who wants to understand how to be different and successful in what they do. Number 5 on the list is the book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. This is one of the most recommended books to change your thinking about your financial status and sustain an optimistic and realistic view towards earning more and becoming more successful. This book talks about the difference between assets and liabilities and how most people often confuse their liabilities to be their assets. Risks are a very important part of our life, as risks become a defining factor between the people who earn a decent amount of money and people who earn a lot of money, like these guys. This book talks about the misconception regarding the diversification of your source of income. The mistake of you putting everything you have, which is not a lot, into diversifying your source of income can actually result in a negative outcome. Rather, you should concentrate on a few things when you have a limited resource. As you grow more and more with the amount of resources that you have, you can then start diversifying your source of income. Number 6 on the list is the book called The Productivity Project by Chris Bailey. This book is a very good read as a general introduction to the concept of productivity. The book deals with key productivity questions, including procrastination, how to focus for long hours without getting distracted, how to avoid multitasking, how to do tasks that go hand in hand, also known as task batching, and how to plan out your day effectively. This book is very creatively designed as there is some sort of challenge after each chapter so that you can get a practical sense of what you are actually reading in the book. If you want to understand the concept of productivity and how you can make the most out of your day, I would highly recommend you guys to give this book a read. Number 7 on the list is the book called Make It Stick by Mark McDaniel and Peter C. Brown. This is one of the game-changing books as it teaches us the scientific ways to actually learn things, be it for an exam or something in general. This book emphasizes on the importance of testing yourself enough for the things that you're trying to learn. Quizzing yourself on the topic that you're actually trying to learn helps in strengthening the muscle in your brain, which in turn helps in solidifying the concept more and more. This book talks about the phenomena of the forgetting curve and how you can take different steps or processes to help you actively recall your thoughts on a particular topic. This book explains how rereading and highlighting your text is a very passive way of studying and is not effective. This book talks about a lot of scientific studies done in the field of studying that help you and show you how you can actually retain the information you have learned for a longer period of time. I would highly recommend this book if you're a student, as it is something that will change your entire thinking about studying, thus helping you get better grades without actually studying for long hours or wasting time on non-effective study practices. Number 8 on the list is the book called So Good They Can't Ignore You by Newport. This book discusses about how the people who actually love the job that they do tend to be more successful. Those people who are passionate about their work and consider it a calling instead of a mere job experience 3 things routinely: creativity, control, and impact. The book discusses that if you want something rare and valuable in life, you must be willing to give something rare and valuable in exchange as a skill set that you possess. It teaches us to scrap the passion mindset and instead adopt the craftsman mindset. The book tries to persuade you to try out new challenges and different things in life to help you build your character and get skills that other people might possess. I highly recommend this book if you want to understand your work ethic and how there's a difference between doing something you love and doing something that you hate. After all, if you do something you love with the proper mindset, it becomes hard to ignore you. Number 9 on the list is the book called Deep Work by Newport. This book deals with the number one problem that most people face, is that they cannot focus on something and get the work done, or that they are struggling to get more time and procrastination is the biggest enemy. The book discusses that when we get these cravings to check our phones, go down the rabbit hole of social media, or play video games, we are actually forming micro habits that distract us from our work. These micro habits tend to weaken the focus muscles in our brain, which prevent us from doing the work we had to do. The book deals with the concept of the flow state, which essentially means that when we are deeply wind into our work, we tend to forget what is going on in our surrounding and reach a high level of focus. But this flow state is not something that we can get into in the first 5 to 10 minutes of our work. It can take time, and there are various ways that we can help to build us get into that focus state in a faster way. I would highly recommend this book if you want to learn how you can achieve higher levels of focus without actually procrastinating. Last book on the list is the book called The 4-Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss. This book challenges the I am too busy excuse. Tim talks about how most people mistake activity for productivity. This book tells us to stop doing work for work's sake and embrace the work as something you would want to do by making your 40-hour work week into a 4-hour work week. The book discusses the 2 universal laws about productivity, the first one being Pareto's law and the second one being Parkinson's law. These 2 laws help us understand the difference between doing work productively and doing work just for the sake of doing work. The book teaches us that even the most important things that we have to do don't actually require the time we devote to it. We can reduce the time that we give on something by simply planning out our days properly and structuring our week properly. I highly recommend this book for all students to understand how you can manage your time well and structure your day in a way so that you don't have to waste a lot of time doing one thing when it does not actually require the time you devote to it. So those are the 10 book recommendations I have for you guys. Hope you find something useful if you choose to read them. If you guys enjoyed the video and found it useful, please give it a like down below and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hope you guys are staying safe and indoors. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.